Oopsie. Yep. The president of El Salvador mocking the leftist judges who are destroying our country. This is pretty wild when we have like an unknown allies like it's Venezuela. Who would have thought that? Yeah, right here it says it. Oopsie, El Salvador president mocks Judge Boasberg after flights with the several hundred Venezuelan gang members supported by President Trump. You want to see who this leftist judge is? Look at that right there. Judge Diddler, James Boasberg, said that it was illegal for Trump to deport these Trinidad gang members and other illegals that have came in here and harassed and done very terrible harm to the American families. And Trump is using a law that's quite old, but the left doesn't mind trying to invoke some kind of old laws. So I don't want to hear it. They be doing some crazy stuff. And these laws are old, but they're effective because at any moment this could be a thing. But this law of 1798, and it deals with foreign invaders because they knew that at some point somebody would be back. They didn't sure if it was going to be, weren't sure if it was going to be the England people, the Europe coming back to try to do whatever they had to do. But they realized that at some point in time that there were, yeah, they must have known something. Like as soon as 1776 was a thing, must have knew that there was already infiltrators geared towards destroying what was already being built, like immediately. Like somebody was building stuff. It's almost like as America was blocks were being laid out for freedom, there was somebody at the other end of the wall taking each one down. Kind of a funny way of analyzing that, but that's literally what's happening. As a wall was being built to protect our borders and our country and our freedoms, there was another person at the other end of that wall taking each block down one by one as one was being built. We're trying to outpace those people. This judge here was an Obama appointee, and I'm just saying, we need to look at his Hunter Biden computer and see what's going on with this guy. Weak little noodle man. That's what we're got here. A weak little evil noodle man. He's like anybody that's 50 years old looks like that. 60, whatever old he is. He just looks like a weak little noodle man. No backbone, no spine. Just looks like you could sling him against a wall and he would stick because he looks done to me. Anyways, that's metaphorical speaking. But yeah, so the what do you call it? Marco Rubio told him to pound sand. Right here, told him in this article here. He says Trump administration defiantly tells radical judge to pound sand following controversial ruling. And right now, as we speak, Pam Bondi has issued an emergency injunction on this illegal ruling because there's totally illegal what we got here. When you have a group of people who are taking over cities, blocks, cities and counties, and administering a mob rule, you have people that's foreign invaders. Those are invaders. Those aren't people here coming to do anything but invade and do terrible things. And so you have the right to make this use this law, and this judge has actually went in there and inverted that law and tried to tell planes mid-flight to turn around. Of course, they didn't, and a bunch of them made it to El Salvador, and they're there for the remainder. And the Venezuelan people, the Venezuelan president said, "Dude, that's it. We're putting them in. We're locking them up. We're locking them up." You want to see who this chick is right here? This is the
It's a town of about 10,000.
This is the chick who shoved that microphone in Trump's face right here from NPR. It's pretty wild, isn't it? Why do they all look like that, by the way? What's up with this? What's up with this look? This look of self-hatred, of just, how... Anybody in the comment section, leave me a comment if you've seen something like this before. But, she's done everything that you can do to make sure that we accentuate the ugly. And used to, back in my day, if you were ugly, you would put on you'd put on really nice clothes and a lot of makeup to try to hide it. But these people make sure that I guess it's just, a way for them to, this is a reveal. Showing us who you really are. The ugly comes from within, and now it's being portrayed through without. But she is a staunch Trump derangement. She suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. That's what I'm looking for here. This is actually being classified as a mental illness, and there's a state I read about it the last night. I can't remember the name of the state, but there's not just one, but several states now are looking into actually classifying TDS as a mental illness, which it is, because they have been, it might not be organic, it might not be something they were born with, but they've been talked into it. They've been coerced into it. They've been, like, well, I can't say that word because of YouTube, but they've been moved into thinking this way through a mass formation psychosis to media. Here's what she sounds like, by the way. She's got the typical NPR voice.
In Michigan, Trump will speak about crime in Howell. It's a town of about 10,000. Ahead of that, his campaign emphasized, in contrast to what VP Harris has said in the past, Trump wants to, quote, overfund the police. Trump's campaign has not yet responded to NPR's questions about why they chose Howell. Howell has historic links to the Ku Klux Klan and was the site of a white supremacist demonstration last month. Danielle Kurtzleben, NPR News, Detroit, Michigan. Secretary.
Yeah, that's her right there. She's nuts. She's crazy. That is a crazy cat lady.
Mr. President,
in case you missed what happened, this was not an accident. This is the same. She's trying to do the same thing that 4K runner did when she openly, purposely whacked that one girl in the back of the head several times with that baton. This woman comes up and says, oops, I accidentally did that. Watch this. But it's not an accident. And by the way, Columbia knows not, but this is a national security risk. Because what if this thing had some kind of stuff on the end of it, some kind of biological agent? You never know about people.
Mr. President, obviously you're concerned.
That's the look of a man who wants to go over there right now and snatch that microphone out of her hand and just cram it, slam up her little butt.
You're concerned about the situation in Gaza. What are the hopes now to get the hostages back?
She just became a big story tonight. Right? Yes, sir. Did you see that?
Yeah. Right about now is where you just want to fold that microphone in half and cram it in places where the sun doesn't shine, and he's doing everything he can to keep his composure. But at any moment, this is where the Secret Service should have came in there and arrested her for assault. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that, in my opinion, that NPR needs to be completely defunded, and they need to be barred from any more presidential, banned from this right here. This is an assault. If somebody needs to be charged, if this would have happened by any of our right-wing news broadcasters or content creators to a Biden or any of Jasmine Crockett, there'd be assault charges. But anyways, I'll leave you with this here. Check this out, and this is good for the country. Everybody, and all you leftists watching this, hate watching this, how about checking this out next? Or NBC, this is NBC Meet the Press. They're reporting on numbers that might seem insignificant right now, but you've got to remember, in 2024, November of 2024, this was right as the pinnacle of the Biden regime. 27% said the country was headed in the right direction. And just in less than 90 days under Trump's administration, that number has jumped significantly to 44%. And I'm breaking this down because lefties aren't going to be able to process this. You guys have understand this. You've got critical thinking, but I'm doing this for the lefties who hate watching this. And the last time that the country was above 40% in the right direction was in 2012. Who was president back then? Who was that? Do you might remember? Whenever Trump took over, and when he started his presidency in 2012, that's when the country started hitting 40%. And that number is only going up. You're going to see that number trend higher, especially now that egg prices are starting to come down. They quit killing the birds for no reason. And gas prices will start coming down, especially after they can overturn what Biden did and stopped our energy production. You're going to really start to see things really go in the right direction for the country. And those numbers are going to reflect. And by the way, these are biased polls. They're going to say, oh, this is independence and this, that, and no. They have a way of oversampling to make these numbers. So even as they try to fake the numbers, this is what they have to say.
First of all, the mood of the country, this really jumped out. We asked folks, is it on the right direction or the wrong direction? That 44% you say right direction, that's up since November. And if that doesn't seem like a lot, the last time it cracked 40%, you got to go back to 2012. The last time it actually hit 44 or higher, January of 2004. So a lot of this is Republicans, but independents, that number is also up since the election on the direction of the country.
Yep, big numbers, guys. Thank you for watching and hanging out. Don't forget to hit the like and the share and the subscribe. Take it easy, and we're out.